Good Tvach and welcome back to Just a Minute, Just a Mishnayos. This is Mishnayos and the Nishmas, Fredele Basracham, the Schos of Yitzchak Ben Gila, and the Frost. So, Basirish and Fush. Lemas, Msachas Bava Kama, Perek Vav, Mishtavav, Perek Zayin, Mishnah Aleph, Get Shiotza Mitachas Apatish, Vizik Chayev. So, we have what's it called? A silversmith, I guess, someone who works with metal. A blacksmith, sorry, and he's hammering away at something, and a spark flies out and lights something on fire. So the blacksmith has to pay for it, has to pay for the damage. So if we have a camel which has like big bundles of flax on its back and it's walking through public property, and it walks past a shop, and in that shop there's a candle, and because there's so much flax, the flax goes in, pokes into the shop and gets lit on fire, and then it burns the house down. So the owner of the camel has to pay for the damage. But if the owner of the house put the candles outside, and then the camel went and burnt down a different house, so then the owner of the shop has to pay for it, because while you're putting candles outside, it's dangerous. If it's inside, then it's not his problem. Rabbi Yehuda says that if it's during Chanukah, when obviously it's normal, you're allowed to put the candles outside, so then it's the owner of the camel's fault, and the owner of the house doesn't have to pay. There are more cases where if someone steals, he has to pay. In some cases, he has to pay. So if someone steals something, so he has to pay kefil. He has to pay double the amount that he stole. But if someone steals an ox or a goat, so an ox or not a goat. I think a goat. Sorry, a goat. If someone steals an ox or a goat, so they have to pay 4 times the amount, and he shachts it and he sells the meat. So if it's a goat, he has to pay 4 times the amount. If it's an ox, he has to pay 5 times the amount. So there's more cases where someone pays double than when he pays 4 or 5 times. Because if you just steal something, so you have to pay double, even if it's not a living, even if it's whether or not it's living or not. Meaning, if you steal an animal, you have to pay double. If you steal a book, you have to pay double too. But with paying 4 or 5 times, that's only if it's an ox or a goat. It says specifically an ox or a goat. If someone steals something from a thief, so that person doesn't have to pay double. But also, if someone steals an animal from someone who stole, and then he shechts it and sells the meat, he also doesn't have to pay 4 or 5 times the price. Good Tvach, and those are today's Mishnayos.